Hey, how you doing? Welcome to another time here. Good afternoon. Welcome to another time at the book club. That's what we gotta do. Sunday afternoon, 2 p.m. West African time. We gotta come here and we'll share from the book, and do life thereby. I share my life. I'll share my battles, my victories, my failures, and we just get to do life together through that experience. That's what I get to do here. Uh, 2 p.m. West African time. I hope you're enjoying it. I hope you're coming along. I hope it's blessing you. I hope it's making a difference for you. It is making a difference for me. That's why I got to do it. Again, I say I'm the first participant, the first person to listen to this, and that's why I got to do it. I just hope that someone else gets blessed as I do it. We're reading our hate book in the series. We started doing this 21st day of February 2021. So today is 16th. Our next Sunday will be 20 today, next Sunday will be 23rd. We would have passed our 40th anniversary. So it's been 4 years doing this. And in 4 years, this is our eighth book. So in 4 years, we've read eight books, And so on the average, we've read two books per year, and really we're not about the speed. We're not about how many books we've read. The real deal for us is what we soak from the book, soak from the book, soak from the book. Some of the books have been short, some of the books have been long, but again, it's not about the length of the book. It's about that we're able to soak something from the book. It's about who we become by reason of going through the book, right? By reason of going through the book, who we become, who we are becoming is the most important thing. Hey, thanks, Rosie, for coming along. God bless you. Thanks for dropping by. Oh, I believe that's my dear sister Rosemary. Thank you. Thanks for stopping by. God bless you. So what we do it's just about get what we soak from the book, and it makes a difference for our life. That's why I gotta do this. Uh so when I eighth book is The Gold Mine Effect, by Rasmus Ankersen, and it's all about high performance. I love the fact that we can start the year 2025 with this. The word for me for the year 2025 is doing the greater work. Growing by a factor of God in every area of my life, in everything that I do. I'm set to grow by a factor of God, right? Whether it be my work, whether it be my business, whether it be my ministry, whether it be my personal life, whether it be my parenting, whether it be my marriage. This year is the year to grow by a factor of God, because this year is the year of the greater work for me. So I'm going to start with a book that talks about high performance, pretty much just aligns with that. So that's the beauty of this book, pretty much aligning for me. That's why I kind of just went into it this year. I've been having a nice time through it. Last week we did chapter 4 of the book, and we talked about chapter 4. We talked about quitters, and this week we're going to go into chapter 5. Chapter five's title is mindset. That's probably one of the mindset. I am a psychoanalyst. That's what I gotta do when I'm off work. One of the many things I do, I love the mind. I love the study of the mind. So I love topics on the mind. I love what's his name? Carl. Carl Jung. I love Carl Jung. I love Sigmund. I love talking about the mind. I love studying about the mind. I actually created a group, to talk about the mind. Well, the people didn't respond well, so I pretty much reduced the intensity in that group. But I've been through 4 years of depression, so I have a bit of a knowledge, experiential knowledge of what the mind is, how to treat the mind, how to win the battles of the mind. So I love talking about the mind. I'm excited about today's section, and I hope my excitement will come out in the sharings we're going to do, in our 1 hour together. I don't plan to finish chapter 5 today. I think we're going to do chapter 5 today and finish it up next week, but again, I don't drag it, whatever it is, but I don't see us finishing chapter 5 today. I'm excited about chapter 5, so that's what we're going to be doing. Chapter 5 of the book, talking about mindset as it relates to performing at a high level in our life, whatsoever you're doing to perform at a high level, how does our mindset relate to that? That's what we're going to be sharing today. So I'm going to bring up my slide like I always do, and we're going to have a structured time together, going through chapter 5 of our book. All right. All right. I need to. Well, like I get to say all the time, you don't get to see my slide. Uh, That's Chia Dicker, I guess. Oh, check. Thanks for coming along. God bless you. Precious. Thanks for stopping by. On Instagram Live, you don't get to see the slides, because Instagram Live doesn't have provision for slide. Uh, but if you're on if you're on YouTube, you will see the slide. Also, this has been projected at my personal blog, uncleakin.com. I get a stream on there. Also, you will see the slide on both places. When I download it on Facebook, you will see the slides also. But Instagram Live does not have that provision. But you're not going to miss anything by not seeing the slide. You're going to get everything, So you're not missing out anything on Instagram Live. So we're on to chapter 5, and it talks about success is about mindset, not the facilities, not any other thing, right? It's not money. It's not where you were born. If your mindset is right, you can win. It doesn't matter where you were born. It doesn't matter the family you came from. It doesn't matter your past. If you can get your mind right, you're a winner. You will win in any field of life once your mind is right. It doesn't matter your history. If you can get your mind right, your today and your tomorrow will be awesome. The greatest gift God gave to the person he created is his mind, is our mind. God has nothing greater than the mind he gave to the person he created. That's why God called that person that he created. He said he's a living soul. He didn't call him a living body. He didn't call him a living spirit. He called him a living soul, a living soul, a living mind. The mind is a part of a soul. So it's a living mind, a mind that is alive. That is a person God created. That's a person God gave dominion. Your dominion is associated with your mind. If you don't own your mind, you cannot have dominion in this life. The power of dominion is not in your spirit. The power of dominion is not in your body. The power of dominion is in your mind. It's a leverage position that God has given you to win in this life. In this life, winning has nothing to do with anointing. Anointing has its own place. Winning has everything to do with the mind God has given to you, right? In Babel, God came down and saw those people building the tower, and God Almighty said they cannot be stopped. Now, whatsoever it is that they have decided to do, once they are one mind together, they will achieve it. God Almighty said that. God who created the mind he gave to you says that when your mind is in unison, when your mind is focused, there's nothing that you cannot do. There's nothing you cannot achieve. That's the power of the mind God gave to us. And he says that with God, all things, there's nothing impossible with God. All things are possible with God. But also with man that he has created, the prototype of God. He says that if that man can believe, if that man can get his mind in unison, if there's no contradiction in his mind, if his mind can be focused and, be in alignment, be in unison, there's no contradiction in that mind. It says there's nothing that will be impossible for that person. It says all things are possible to him that believeth. To him that believeth, all things are possible. Right? That is the power of the mind that God has given to you and me. It is your secret power. It is your secret superpower. Unfortunately, we underuse it. Unfortunately, our religious places don't encourage us to use it. That is why we're behind all that God will have us be. Don't let me get ahead of myself. Anyway, the quote that pretty much starts the book, summarizes the book, summarizes the chapter, forgive me. The chapter has this quote at the beginning, and it's a quote by Won Park, a golf coach, in South Korea. Maybe for those of you that are just joining us for the first time, quick introduction to the book. The gold mine effect is Rasmus went to about 6 different places that are known for high performance, right? We went to about 6 different places that are known for high performance, and all right. He went to 6 different places that are known for high performance. He went to Kenya, where typically you have a lot of long distance runners, that people that win Olympic gold in long distance. There's a particular tribe there where most of them come from, right? He went to Ethiopia, where you also have some runners there also that win marathon races. He went to Brazil, a particular place in Brazil where most of the soccer stars come from. He went to Russia, where most of the champion long tennis players come from. He went to Korea, where most of the champion golfers come from. And his intent in going to all of these places to see what is it that makes for this high performance. What is anything about these people that mark them out? Is it a gene? Is it environmental? What is it about these people that if one can learn from them, if or one can get from them, one can also perform at that optimum level? So that's what the book is about, is what he learned from going to all of these places. What we can learn from these places so that we also can perform at a high level in our personal life, in our own particular niche of life. That's a summary. That's how the book came about. The book is about his journey, his findings from going to all of these places. That's what we're learning from. So the quote we have here, starting this chapter, is from one of those places that he went to. So it's from, all right, it's from Won Park, golf coach in South Korea. And he says talent tends to get in the way of itself. Sometimes talent thinks talents, so when you have talent, pride comes with it. Oh, I'm the best. I'm this. And we have a lot of people who have talent but never amount to anything. For us in Nigeria, someone like Etim Essen, he was talented, but he never rose to the optimum level. I'm a Man U fan. So you have someone like Nani and Cristiano Ronaldo who came to Man U at about the same time. Nani never rose to the place of notoriety. Cristiano Ronaldo did, right? If you saw them when they both came to Man U, that their talents were about the same level, but one rose to stardom, one did not, right? What was different between the two of them? We know about the training, the unique training uh, experience or practice of Cristiano Ronaldo. Nobody talks about Nani's own. Nani never had one that was worth talking about, right? The talents were about the same. one rose to stardom because he did not depend on just a talent. He practiced, right? He had the right mindset that gained him notoriety and money also, right? So sometimes talent, talent gets in our way. We think we're the best. One of the things I'm learning in this recent time, and I was sharing one of my um mentees over the week, and I get to share all the time because I'm about 2 years to retirement, so these are like aha moments for me. Times I look at my journey thus far. How did I get where I got to? What are the good things I learned? What are the bad things along the way? Why didn't I get further than I am right now? And I learn. I don't hide my learnings. I don't do as if I know when I don't know, and I might not be able to get those years back, but I can help people that are where I used to be. I can help people that are beginning of their career. I'm at the end of my career, but I've learned a lot. I can help people at the beginning of their career. I'm gonna be 58 this year, but I can help people that are 15, 20, 30, whatever age, because I've been there before. In Yoruba, we talk about a proverb. We say that a child cannot have as many clothes that you have as many rags as the elders, right? I have so many rags, So I got to do this. Part of what I got to do this is part of that, sharing my rags, sharing my debt, so that you don't have to go through the same things I've been through. Isaac Newton he said, I've gone further. I've seen further because of the shoulders of the giants that I get to sit upon, right? I don't have to repeat their mistakes. I can take their lessons learned, and do and go further than they did, right? Everybody's going to have their own experience. You just don't have to reinvent the wheel. If someone has invented the wheel already, you don't have to reinvent that wheel. You can go and do further than that wheel. Invent new wheels that are better than what has already been done, right? That's what life is, and that's one of the reasons I do this. And don't think I'm just giving. As I'm doing this, I'm talking to myself also. I'm not dead yet. I have 2 years plus, before I retire. I can still do a whole lot, right? In 2 years, I can do what other people would do in 20 years in 2 years, right? It's a matter of, the mindset with which I'm getting to do it. 2 years can become 20 years, if you use experience to do it, right? Sometimes something takes 20 years for some people because they don't know better. For you, it can take you 2 years. It's even right now at the workplace, it's my 29th year doing in the same department, so it's like I can close my eyes and do a lot of things, because 29 years makes a difference for me in the way I gotta do things, right? So experience makes a lot of difference, right? That so I said all of that to say one thing. I was going somewhere when I sidetracked into all of that. I said to say that because the reason why a lot of intelligent people don't make it in the workplace or make it in business is because their intelligence gets in their way. Just like talent can get in your way, intelligence can get in your way because you think you know it all, right? Just being intelligent does not, you know, do work, right? It's the way you use your intelligence that will make a difference for you in your productivity, in your performance, in your rating, in your rising, in your professional career. Just because you're talented, might mean that you were never promoted. It might mean that you underperform, right? Talent, intelligence, and performance are not necessarily uh they are not necessarily simultaneous, right? They are not directly proportional, right? because it's not the intelligence that you have, it's how you use your intelligence that is important. Because sometimes intelligent people see things, that other people don't see. And what you see, what you do with what you see is what will either make you or mar you. Because the way you communicate it, can make people become your enemies rather than your friend, can make people not help you rather than help you, right? You see how you communicate it will make a difference. It will determine whether you're going to rise or not, right? So going back to the quote here about one pack, it says talent tends to get in the way of itself, right? I often think that people succeed more despite their talent than because of it. That's important, right? It's not your talent, it's not your intelligence, it's not your certificate also. In my workplace, I have people that have strange certificates, and the reason, because it's not the certificate, it's not the talent, it's not the intelligence, it's what you do with it, is the value you can bring to the workplace. Your talent might get you through the door. Your intelligence might get you through the door. Your certificate can get you through the door. But what will determine whether you rise or not is what you can do with your certificate, your talent, or your intellect. The application that will make a difference for you in the marketplace, because the application is what determines the value you are able to bring to the table. And you only be rewarded for the value you bring to the table. The money you are paid is a function of the value you bring to the table. It's not because of your talent. It's not because of your intellect. It's not because of your certificate. It's not because of the way you look necessarily. It's the value you are bringing to the marketplace. The marketplace pays for value, pays for value, right? So sometimes talent gets in the way. But you see, people succeed despite their talent, despite their intellect, despite their certificate, you know, despite where they come from, despite their history, because it's the value they produce, it's the value to bring to the table that determines their performance, that determines their rating, that determines their ranking, that determines the opportunities that open up to them and for them, right? So let's go on. So talent alone isn't enough. And the word that's synonymous to talent here, you've heard me talk about, is talent is not enough. Intellect is not enough. Where you come from is not enough. Your family is not enough. Your village is not enough, right? Your certificate is not enough. The course you read is not enough, right? Your experience, all the places you've worked is not enough, right? You need to actively work on improving your abilities. You have to actively work on improving your abilities through practice to reach your full potential. You have to exert yourself. You have to practice. You have to immerse yourself in the work, because the value you produce that will differentiate you. I spoke earlier on about Nani and Cristiano Ronaldo, right? They had the same talent. They came from the same club. They both moved to Man U from Sporting Lisbon. They came from the same club. They come from the same country. They have about the same talent, but one rose, the other one did not rise. What was the difference? It was the application, it was a practice. Ronaldo put in the hours. He did not rest on his talent. He put in the hours to create value, because the hours he put in practice was seen when he came to the field. When he came to the field to play, he produced the value, he produced the goals, he produced the performance, and therefore he was paid for the value he produced. his countryman Nani did not produce the same value, so he was not rewarded accordingly, like Cristiano was rewarded. So don't feel bad if someone is rising in the company above you. Are you practicing? Are you producing value, or you are depending on the school you went to? You are depending on the certificate you have. You are depending on the course you read. You are depending on your intellect. No, none of that is what makes you rise. That's none of that is what determines the reward you get. It's the value you are producing. And you're able to produce that value by practice, by practice, by practice, by practice, by practice, by doing things, by producing value, right? Don't just rest on your oars. Yes, God has given you your body shape. God has given you your intellect. God has given you your tongue. You can speak English like no other, whatever it is, God has given you. But also, God also gave you a brain. He gave you a mind, to apply it to use that which he has given you, in a way that will produce value. God put Adam in the Garden of Eden to keep and to tend, to keep and to turn, to keep and to turn, to culture the garden. Adam would not just, hey, God has given me garden, so let me go and rest and I'm okay. God will have been disappointed. Even though God created the garden, God wanted Adam to extend the process of creation, to begin to increase the value of the garden. So God put him there to tend and to keep. God put him there to today, like we do. We don't just have trees, we produce chairs. We take from what God has given us, the raw material. We also then use the mind he has given us, the brain he has given us, and begin to produce things, begin to create like God has created. God did it so far. God wants us to continue from where he stopped. That's why God says we are gods. He calls us gods because we are created prototype of him. We're created prototype of him. We're given a mind, not just a mind, but a mind that is alive, a mind that is alive. He called us a living soul, a living intellect, a living brain, a living mind, a living willpower that can make decisions. He made us a living emotion. We can have the right feeling around the things that we do, such that we can extend the place of creation. We can increase the value of what God has given to us. It is as we do that we get the reward, associated reward for doing that. We increase our performance, we increase our productivity, we increase the value of the things that we touch. That is where they say that everything you touch becomes gold. If everything you touch either depreciates in value, you are not using your mind. Your mind is dead. You are not a living soul. You are a dead soul. And you're not going to be rewarded for that. You will get failure for that. If you're going to be successful in life, you must use your soul that is alive, your mind that is alive, your intellect that is alive, your willpower that is alive, your emotions that is alive. It is dead, it cannot produce, right? So talent alone isn't enough. Intellect is not enough. Certificate is not enough. Anointing is not enough. Uh, Gifting is not enough, right? You need to actively work on improving your abilities through practice to reach your full potential. I am a teacher, whether it be by physical gifting or spiritual gifting. I am a teacher. But you see, just having a gift of a teacher is not enough for me to produce value, for me to be able to do it in such a way that I can pass across information in such a way that it will bless people. I have to practice teaching. That's why I do this every Sunday. That's why I teach Mondays to Fridays in my prayer meetings. But you see, the more I do that, the better I become. The easier it is for me, the more fluent I become in doing this. 4 years ago, when I started this, I wasn't as fluent as this. I was trying different things. I was shouting, I was this, I was that, But in 4 years, I've grown. I'm learning to do this. I'm learning that, it's not about being emotional. It's not about shouting. Sometimes the ones that people get most are the ones I myself don't even feel it. I'm wondering if the people are getting me. I'm wondering if it's boring. But yet that's the one that blesses people more. It's not about me coming here to entertain you. Yeah, you have enough entertainment on the TV stations. It's me coming to share life and do life with you. You have better things to do than listen to me at this point in time. The only reason you're probably spending your time is because maybe we're connecting, I'm saying something that's hitting you somewhere, that's making you think, that making you consider. Maybe I'm adding value in one form or the other. But I didn't start this way. I wasn't born this way. I have become this way by practice. By practice. My fluency has come by reason of practice. Even though I have a gifting of a teacher, I'm a teacher. I've taught for years, right? I've taught for years, right? As my walk in faith is 42 years. I've been walking in faith for 42 years, 1983, right? 42 years. I've been teaching for more than 30 years out of that, right? But I don't take that for granted. The more I do it, the better I become. The more I do it, the better I become. Also, I grew up a shy person. Rosemary is here. She's known me from university, right? So Rosemary's known me from about 1985. So she's probably known me for 40 years, right? I didn't grow up being able to do this easily. This is not my nature. This is not my personality. I grew up as an introvert, a shy person. I shouldn't be doing this. But I'm doing it because I've learned to do it by practice. The more I do it, the better I become at doing it. You too can do it also. Whatever it is that you believe God will have you do, you can do it. Start doing it, maybe not perfectly, but do it. The more you do it, the better you become. The more you do it, the better you become. The more you do it, the better you become. You'll be surprised where you end. If it's important to you, you don't have to do everything, right? There are only 24 hours in a day, so you can't do everything. But if it's important to you, if it makes you happy, if it makes you fulfilled, then start. Do it. Do it. Do it. You'll become better at it the more you do it. I started my farm, 2021. 2021 for me, as I get to tag every year, 2021 was the year I called the year of God. I said 2021 was the year of God. And 2021, I started a lot of things. I started my weekday prayer meeting. I started this book club in 2021. I started my company in 2021. I bought farmlands in 2021. So it was a year of God. So I did a lot of things in 2021. So you hear me talk about 2021 of I started a lot of things in 2021 because I titled it the year of God. It was the year of God for me, you know. So I started my farm in 2021, right? And when I started that farm, I knew nothing about farming. I did know about business processes because I'm a life coach. I do all of this. So I know how to set a business up. Excuse me. I know how to set up a business. I know how to run a business. Albeit at least the theory part of it because I teach it, I coach on it, right? So I came in knowing about how to set up businesses, how to do business, but I had zero knowledge of farming, right? My first employee had zero knowledge of farming. She was selling farmland, right? That's how I got to meet her. And that's how I got into buying farm because she was my counselor. As a marriage counselor, I was counseling her on her marriage and she was having financial issues, right? And so she was selling farmland. So I said, all right, just to help her financially, right? If I buy this farmland, would you farm it for me? That's how we started. That's how I bought my first 6 acres of farmland, right? Today we have about 65 acres of farmland, But that's how I started. She's still my employee today, right? But we knew nothing. Both of us knew nothing about farming. But in 4 years, we've learned a lot. We've learned by doing, by doing, by doing, by doing. You see, I knew about business processes. I didn't know about farming. I wanted to bring business process on top of farming to apply business process in farming. So I had to learn about farming. I knew about business process. I had to learn about farming to apply the business process to it. See, so I had to exercise myself in farming. Today, I know some things about farming. I'm not necessarily a professor in farming, but I know some things about farming, right? I know about how to build greenhouses. We build greenhouses. We're now 7 and 8 greenhouses. We're going to build 12. We have 4 more to go, right? Well, I know how to do greenhouses, operate greenhouses. I know a couple of things, right? But I've learned it by practice. I've learned by doing in 4 years of doing it. We're building a poultry, never done a poultry before, only been to one poultry in my whole life. But that poultry I went to one time, I replicated the design is what we're building. So I'm going to learn about poetry, right? But I'm only going to learn it by practice, get better at it, practice, right? Yeah, I'm going to get people here and there learn. But I'm just saying that whatever it is that you want to do, you can get it by practice. You start shakily, but the more you do it, the better you get at it. I go back and look some of my old videos in 4 years. I cringe. I say, did I do that? Did I do that? You see, today I'm more fluent, I'm freer, than I used to be. Because in 4 years I've learned, I've become better at doing this. I'm becoming a guru at doing this, right? But I wasn't born this way, right? Yeah, I'm this by practice because I do it Sunday in, Sunday out, and it's becoming a second nature because I do it. That is why talent is not enough. Talent can make you can make you a failure if you depend on talent alone. Your certificate can make you a failure if you depend on certificate alone. I have some youth coppers working for me, and one of the reasons I brought the youth coppers in who read our Greek was that hopefully they would use their knowledge about Greek from school, to add to what we're doing. Zero. They've come only to come and do manual work. They're bringing no experience from school. It's a Nigerian thing, you know. But it's because they are depending so much on certificate. Let me go and find some work. They are not applying themselves to the knowledge that they are supposedly have gained from school, right? Their mind is set on something, thinking that that is where the money is. But listen to El Nightingale today, right? The money is where you are. The money is where you are. If only God will open your eyes to the riches that is where you are right now. It's not somewhere else. That garden, your acre of diamond is where you are right now. Just pray that God will open your eyes to the opportunities that surround you where you are right now, not any other place. Where you are right now, the opportunities are built for you where you are right now. All you have to say is, God, open my eyes to them. God, help me see the things I can do. Help me see the acres of diamond that is around me right now. With the experience I have right now, I can enter into my own wealthy place, into my own large place. You don't have to go to another profession to get it. You don't have to go to another place to get it. Where you are right now, there are riches for you if only God will open your eyes to them. Right? So apply yourself, practice, become the best at what you do, right? You'll be surprised what you get from it, right? I said we're not going to finish this today. And we've only just been on the third slide or second slide here, and we just have 20 more minutes to go. But it is what it is. I'm enjoying myself, and I hope you're enjoying it also. A performance environment should not be designed for comfort, but for hard work. I guess that's the other thing that gets into people's part. You know, as I was growing up, my mama, you know, was someone that loved us so much to a fault. My mama loved us so much, she thought she could do everything for us. She thought she could make decisions for us. She wanted to protect us, right? She did it from a good heart, but she overdid it, right? For someone like me, my mama wanted to make every decision. She felt she knew better than I did. It's both correct and wrong. You have to help your children to learn how to make decisions themselves. Making decisions should not be something that suddenly comes on them when there's calamity around them, when they are under you. Allow them to make decisions for themselves in small things. They want to buy a shoe, let them choose the shoe they want to buy, even though you know the best one for them. Give them a range. Let them choose one from a range. Don't make decisions. Don't always make decisions for them, because when you do, they will not have learned the ability to make decisions for themselves. And they are not going to make it in life if they cannot make decisions for themselves. It means that that faculty of their soul is not alive. And if their soul is not alive, they will not have the dominion power that God has given to them to reign in life. The man that God created, he called a living soul. He gave dominion to a living soul to succeed in this life. If your children's soul are not living, or anybody's soul is not living, that person cannot succeed in life. That person cannot perform at a high level in life. That person cannot produce value. In your soul, it's your intellect, it's your emotion, it's your willpower. If those areas of your life are not alive, you cannot make it. You cannot produce value. You cannot produce at a high level. Help your children. Teach your children to make decisions. Don't make every decision for them. When they're in trouble, give them a range of choice. Yes, you make it safe, good for their level. Right, but let them make a decision. Let them begin to exercise the act of choosing, the act of making decision. When you do the act of making this decision, the thing that's behind it is the act of being responsible. If I decide on something, then I'm responsible for the effect of it, whether it's good or bad. If you make a decision for me, then you are responsible for the results, whether it's good or bad. Allow people to go. Stop holding them captive. Let them make decisions for themselves. Let them be responsible for their success or failure. We're also quick to say that nobody's self-made, because we want to still take the honor, want to take the glory from them, saying we're part of their success. But then we run away from someone that's a failure. We don't say that. When someone says that he's self-made and he's a failure, nobody says anything against it. We only say something against someone that's a success because we want to steal from their glory. If you want to steal from the glory of the success, also take the shame of the person that failed, because you're a part of that failure. We tell people, if you cannot make decisions, you can't win in life. Winning in life is the ability to make decisions, and making that decision on time. The ability to make decisions, meaning that your willpower is alive. So a performance environment should not be designed for comfort, but for hard work. Comfort is where people make decisions for you. People make easy for you, easy. There's some people that cannot live away from the prison, because in the prison, they tell you when to wake up, when to sleep, went to exercise, went to eat. So when they come out, they're useless. Because when you're not in a regimented environment, they are lost. They can't make decisions for themselves on when to wake up, when to brush their teeth, when to read their book, when to eat, because nobody's telling them they are lost. And that's the way I felt also when I first started being exposed to life. Because my mom caring so much made all the decisions for us. It was a level of our knowledge. It was a level of our exposure. She did it out of love, but it didn't really work for us. First time I started growing up and it started affecting me, I had to forgive my parents because they missed it on that part. I don't know what it is for you. I don't know what has hit you, whether you are like me. And I had to forgive my parents and began to recreate myself. The person that came out to hit the marketplace the first time was not created or designed to succeed. I had to redesign myself. I had to recreate myself. The person you see here is not the person he used to be. He had to change a lot of things to become a success that he is today. It's possible. I don't know where this talk here finds you. I don't know what you're struggling with right now. I don't know if failure has been dragging itself, tying itself to you. I used to be there. Notice it's past tense. I used to be there. You too can come out. You can make something good of your life. It's not too late. I don't care how old you are. I'm 58. Some people became rich and changed their life at 65. Even someone at 80, it's not too late for you. For as long as there's life, you can make something good of the life you have left. You just have to begin to imbibe the right principles. You have to be ready to learn. You have to be ready to practice. You have to be ready to apply yourself. Your future can be great. Your tomorrow can be awesome. It's not too late. You can change. You can become better. We're all changing. Question is whether we're becoming better or worse. You can decide the trajectory of your change, whether it's going to become better or worse. You just have to apply yourself and do the right things. Right? So going back again, a performance environment should not be designed for comfort, but for hard work. Hard work is no chance. There's no choice when it comes to the affairs of life. I see some fake, illiterate, ignorant pastors who will be praying for you, no hard work. Yeah, nothing be hard. It's a curse. They're not praying for you. Heaven doesn't answer that. Even the first man that God created, God put him in the Garden of Eden to do work. That was before the fall. That came before Genesis chapter 3. It wasn't after the fall. God put Adam in the garden. After he had created him, he put him in the garden, not just to sit there and enjoy and be loafing around. God gave him something to do. God told him to keep and to tend that garden. He had work to do. Don't let them deceive you at 19 because you have given off in the pastor, then things will just be falling in your lap. It's a curse. If you don't apply yourself, you will die before your time. There's no option. There's no alternative to hard work. You are going to work hard. If you want to achieve your destiny, you're going to have to work hard. Right? But it's not just hard work. You also have to work smart. Right? Someone asked the question, is it that I work hard or I work smart? That's a foolish question, sorry to say. Jim C. Collins will put it this way. He calls it the genius of the hand and the tyranny of the awe. It's not whether it's hand or hand. It's not whether it's awe, it's hand. You work hard and you work smart. That's the way to live life. It's not whether you work hard or smart. You work hard and smart, hard and smart. That's how to succeed in life. Hard and smart, right? The and proposition is a mature proposition. It's not the or. It's not whether you are rich or go to heaven. It's that you are rich and go to heaven. You can go to heaven and be rich. It's not heaven or richness. You can go to heaven and be rich. It's possible. It's possible. And that's what Peter said. And that's what Jesus said also. Right? It's possible. It's not easy. It's not easy. That's why people run to the awe, because it's seemingly easy. And it's not easy because it takes hard work. You're going to have to apply yourself. You're going to have to do something to make that possible. But it is possible. It's not easy, but it's possible. You can be rich and go to heaven. You can be rich and righteous. You can be rich and holy. You can work hard and work smartly. You can apply yourself. You can apply yourself. And you must apply yourself if you want to live this life. God did not create this life for people to loaf around. When people loaf around, the devil has them. When you loaf around, you tempt the devil. Because, like we say all the time, that whole idiom, English idiom, the idle mind is the workshop of a devil. When you loaf around, you are the workshop of a devil. You are tempting the devil. You are calling the devil to come and give you work, since you don't have any work of your own. Right? So a performance environment should not be designed for comfort, but for hard work. If you want to perform, if you want to create value, if you want to be promoted, if you want to increase, if you want to be rich, if you want to be successful, you must do work. You must do what it takes to be successful. You must do something, because life is cause and effect. Input, output. Sowing, harvest. Sowing, reaping. Nothing comes free. There's no free lunch in life. It's not just in Texas. In life, there's no free lunch. What you get is what you give. Jesus says, give and it shall be given. It didn't say you just get. It says, give and it shall be given. Give and it shall be given. Sow and you shall reap. Cause and effect. Give and it shall be given. You have to apply yourself to life if you want to get the best out of life. It's not just going to happen. It's not just going to fall on your lap. You have to do something to get it. So a performance environment should not just be designed for comfort, but for hard work, for applying yourself. It has to show people that the road to success is long and uncomfortable. The road to success is long and uncomfortable. You want to succeed, the road is long and uncomfortable. The lift to the floor of success is broken down. You have to take the stairs. It's long and uncomfortable. Success doesn't jump on you like they pray. These fake people pray. You'll suddenly be successful. They need to just jump on you. Double anointing, double riches. They're trying to steal from you. They're thieves. God didn't create his universe that way. It comes in bits, little bits, little bits. You grow into it. There's no suddenly in the kingdom of God. There's no suddenly in nature. There's no suddenly in God. You grow into it. The road to success is long and uncomfortable. You have to apply yourself. You have to exert yourself. You have to do things that you didn't do before. You have to move out of your comfort zone if you want to make it in this life. If you stay in your comfort zone, you will die before your time. You go into depression. When you come out of depression, you have to apply yourself. You have to do the things that you need to do that you've not done before. You don't do giant steps at once. You learn, you grow into it. You do baby steps, right? Never bite more than you can chew. Never chew more than you can swallow, right? You take it baby step at a time according to the strength that you have. But you must do. But don't be in a hurry. Take your time, right? Take your time, because it's not just doing it. You want to become that person. You want it to become second nature, such that you can do it freely, over time. Like you can see me do all of this. I wasn't born this way. I became this by practice. It's been long and uncomfortable, right? 4 years of doing it. Not necessarily been easy, but it's been possible. It's been God, and we're here. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, we hit the hour mark. I'm going to stop here for today. We'll pick it up here next week, Sunday, God willing. I don't want to abuse your time. I try to keep this within the hour time. Thanks, Rosemary. Thanks, my dear sister. Uh, come all the way from 1985. That's 40 years. We're celebrating this year. Thanks, Precious, for stopping by also. God bless you. Thanks, everyone on YouTube. Thanks, everyone on my blog site. Thanks for spending this time with me. Have a great week. See you next week, God willing, same time, 2 p.m. West African time, and we can get to do this together. I hope it bless you. Feel free, you can drop me a note of anyway on my handles, Instagram, Facebook, whatever, anything you want me to share as we do this chapter 5, any question, anything to add to what I've said, feel free. We're trying to do life together. This is not just doing it for the sake of doing it. It's that our lives will be better. Your life will be better. My life will be better. And we'll become all that God wants us to be. And we'll leave our mark in this life. We're going to go to heaven, but we're not in a hurry. We're going to leave our mark in this life. We'll be successful. We'll eat the good of the land. It's our fathers. We eat the good of the land. We'll not be amongst those that will be giving excuses. Yeah, we'll eat the good of the land. That's our portion. Thanks. God bless you. Have a great week. See you next week. Bye-bye.